Since its premiere in 2011, Gumball has been one of the pillars of Cartoon Network's programming and an international treasure. The show that started out as a hodgepodge of Ben Boclay's rejected art assets for commercials has gone on to gain 6 great seasons and a cast of memorable characters. Hi, I'm Adrian with Channel Frederator, and this is Then vs. Now, The Amazing World of Gumball. Don't forget to subscribe and click that bell icon to become part of the notification squad. Art style. Gumball has always prevailed for its artistic diversity, and it's one of the characteristics that makes the show so unique. It's one of, if not the only, show on television that mixes 3D, 2D, and live-action art. The bold decision to include all of these different aesthetics became a subject of praise right from the start, and the series has only gotten more experimental with each season's renewal. Boulder Media was credited with the show's 2D animation during the run of its first season. It's the animation studio responsible for the second season of Wander Over Yonder, a series which aired on Disney XD. Hasbro later bought the company, a proposition assisted by Irish government funding. However, because of production issues, a tenth of the original 40 episodes was left unfinished, and the Irish government cut financing following season 1, resulting in Boulder cutting ties with Cartoon Network. In response, the show's 2D animation moved to Studio Soy for season 2, and Studio Soy still serves as a co-producer for the cartoon all the way up to season 6. If you haven't watched the show since the first season, you may think Gumball and the rest of the Wattersons look a little different. No, the blue kitten hasn't aged or anything, but his design has indeed evolved. In season 1, Gumball's eyes were pill-shaped, while in season 2, they became more like ovals. For season 3, the eyes shifted once again to a more circular, comfortable design. There's nothing to confirm this detail necessarily, but if we were a guessing group, we'd assume the style changed alongside the humor of the show. We'll get back to that in a second. Big eyes are also incredibly appealing, but they have their limits. With the eyes taking up more than half of Gumball's face, it was likely harder for animators to give some of his signature strong reactions. The smaller eyes, on the other hand, allowed more room for Gumball to make his funny faces. This same idea also applies to the rest of the Watterson family. Tone and humor. The good news is that after 5 seasons, The Amazing World of Gumball is still, well, amazing. The show still manages to turn the mundane hilarious, but some of the humor has changed over time. Along with the new seasons came a fresh challenge: how to be funnier than the last set of episodes. If you were a fan of the first season of Gumball, then you might have noticed some significant changes while watching more recent material. The situational comedy and physical humor of the series is still going strong, although the jokes have taken the physical comedy to a whole new level with more gross-ups than ever before. Gross-ups being the technical term for that one-of-a-kind reaction face. The expressions on Gumball and Darwin's faces vary from cute to absolutely disgusting, and it's become a staple to the show's humor. In season 1, if Gumball and Darwin are taken by surprise, you might see a face like this. It's funny and adorable, but as time passed, the show continued to push boundaries. In season 3, viewers would catch a face like this. It somehow strikes the perfect balance between unsettling and hilarious, which became part of the humor. Along with such changes came this feeling of amazement with the audience unaware of what they were going to experience. That's intentional, since animators have stated that part of the fun of working on the show is drawing up Gumball's one-of-a-kind faces for every episode. And it's just super awesome that the animators are having fun with what they're doing. I know if I was animating, I would totally do some like little Easter eggs or something. Writing. So, the tonal changes don't end with just the gross-ups. The writings also changed quite a bit. That isn't to say that there are less relatable hijinks, but nowadays the show seems to be taking even more creative risks when it comes to story and plots. Part of that shift comes with maturity. In season 1, Gumball and Darwin can break the fourth wall and wink at the camera, like in the episode The Spoon. However, once you get to season 4, they go all in to the point where they recognize that they're in a television show. And that's a tame example compared to most episodes. For instance, there's an entirely anime-inspired fight in season 4's The Fury, produced by an actual anime studio. And just to search it up to make sure I'm correct, because I know this studio. Let's see, Gumball Anime Studio. I believe it's 4 degrees Celsius, and yeah, it's Studio 4 degrees Celsius, I was right. We could also look to season 5's The Puppets, which features a scene where Gumball and Darwin appear as physical puppets with their own puppeteers, or there's even the JRPG-inspired episode The Console, which effectively serves as a parody to Final Fantasy and other JRPGs. If you're used to the antics from season 1, these references might feel too over the top, but this is just how Gumball exists. The show became a humor basket filled with references to other franchises and genres. Don't believe us? Well, we have a library of videos to prove you otherwise. Editor, add all the thumbnails for all our videos. There's a whole playlist, I think. We love Gumball in the office. Characters. The characters of Gumball have remained mostly stable throughout the history of the show. Aside from the design changes, there aren't many intense changes in regards to character arcs and personalities. Except Penny. Penny's undergone the most notable change on the show. So much so that if you looked at a picture of the class of Elmore Junior High from season 1 versus an image from season 6, you might find yourself wondering, where is she? When we first met Penny Fitzgerald, she was an anthropomorphic peanut with antlers. However, in season 3's The Shell, we learned learn that underneath Penny's peanut shell, she's a shape-shifting fairy. Since Gumball convinced Penny to shed her shell and to live in her pure form, she's been different ever since. Penny can transform into all sorts of creatures based on her emotions. We've seen Penny as a gremlin, a dragon, and even as Medusa. Oh, and it's also worth mentioning that Gumball and Penny are officially dating. It's so cute. Gumball and Penny isn't the only romantic relationship that's blossomed on the show. The Watterson family has gotten more prominent, and some brand new family members play recurring roles throughout the seasons. For example, in season 3, the longtime recurring mouse Louie started dating Granny JoJo, and they got married in season 4. Louie is now Gumball, Darwin, and Anais's step-grandfather, and has added some funny new drama to the household. In one episode, Louie gives the Watterson children a check for $5,000, which causes the family to go unhinged. Chaos ensues as each member tries to decide who will cash the check, only for Louie to stroll in and realize he forgot a decimal point. It turns out the check was only worth $50. Richard's biological father also appears in season 4 and has been a recurring character in the show ever since his first appearance. The more the merrier, as they say. Voice actors. Unlike Finn from Cartoon Network's other hit show Adventure Time, Gumball doesn't age with each passing episode. However, if you turn on the episode produced more recently, you might find that Gumball and Darwin sound a bit different than the first time you met them. Don't worry though, you're not going crazy. The Watterson boys sound different because different actors now play them. The Amazing World of Gumball is one of the only shows to recast its main characters regularly, but in typical Gumball fashion, they handle it hilariously. In the early seasons of the show, Gumball and Darwin were voiced by Logan Grove and Kwesi Boache, respectively. In the episodes of The Kids, Gumball and Darwin notice their voices are changing, but they aren't growing up. This gag was the show's way of acknowledging the passing of the torch for the voice actors. Grove and Boache had started going through puberty, so their voices became deeper. They couldn't continue to voice Gumball and Darwin, so by the end of the episode, Jacob Hopkins and Terrell Ransom Jr. were the official performers. It was a change that might have felt shocking to some, since voice actors are usually irreplaceable, but then Gumball went ahead and did it again 2 seasons later. In The Copycats, at the end of the episode, Gumball and Darwin mentioned that they are irreplaceable, and then suddenly their voices sound younger. Once again, the tragedy of puberty stuck, and Nicholas Cantu and Danielle Hansley Jr. became the new voices of Gumball and Darwin. In season 6, Gumball is still voiced by Cantu, but Darwin's voice changed once more. In The Anybody, Darwin clears his throat partway through the episode, and after doing so, he's voiced by Christian J. Simon for the rest of the season. It's only a matter of time before Gumball's voice gets replaced, and then we all get sad. And then happy again. Showrunners. Currently, there hasn't been any significant changes regarding showrunners. However, this is then versus now, and possibly versus future. And we do know that the series creator Ben Bouclé will be stepping down after season 6. Gumball's future remains up in the air, but Bouclé seems hopeful that the show will carry on successfully without him. There's some speculation that Mike Graves will likely take over as the showrunner. He's directed a ton of episodes for the show since the very beginning, so it only makes sense that he would take up the mantle. It remains a mystery what sort of effect this may play on the show and its wonderful humor, but we'll find out soon. Fan reception. Since we're talking about it, it could come as no surprise that Gumball is one of Cartoon Network's most popular shows. And if you're one of those kinds of people who need data and cold hard evidence, don't worry. We've got you covered. At times, the show has not only been Cartoon Network's highest rated program, but the highest rated kids' choice in the United States. The cartoon's on their 6th season, which should be evidence enough of its massive success. On a side note, Gumball's viewership numbers seem to be on a decline. Season 1's premiere episode, the DVD, pulled in 2.1 million viewers, while Season 6's only had 1.2 million. While those are the viewership numbers, Gumball continues to dominate critically. Every year, the show is nominated for a British Academy Children's Award, and has taken home at least one award 4 out of 6 years. It continues to delight critics and audiences everywhere, but that's no surprise to us at all. The Amazing World of Gumball has become so popular that it even has a Chinese bootleg show. Miracle Star is almost precisely a shot-for-shot ripoff of Gumball, making its existence known in the past couple of years. And yes, Gumball ripped off the ripoff show as a sign of good faith. Did you expect anything less from the writing team? I thought so. Once again, I'm Adrian, and that's it for our Amazing World of Gumball spin on Then vs. Now. Are you a Season 1 purist, or do you like the new directions they've taken the series? Comment below and let us know. Don't forget to subscribe and click that bell icon to become part of the notification squad. If you want to see more videos like this one, consider supporting our Patreon, where we post sneak peeks at new pilots, behind-the-scenes footage, extended creator interviews, and more. And remember, Frederator loves you.